say I wasn't slightly disappointed would be a lie.
Well, sometimes it takes time. I mean, you saw Jesse Ventura, Willie Nelson, a lot of other people go public after you went public.
Sure.
And we don't know that Hollywood people haven't made a statement to the media. The media is trying to clamp this down, Charlie.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. That's
so
true.
I think
there could have been those that came forward that just the message was not delivered,
Well, I happen to know for a fact that there are some other big Hollywood people who have made little statements here and there, but they haven't boldly come out on the radio. They haven't made a public statement to the president. And I think that's why you are a hero, Charlie.
Well, thanks, Alex. I mean, I don't look at myself like that. Honestly, I don't. I'm not sitting back here like, studying Google and every single story. I'm not, basking in what I've done. I just, I feel like I have a responsibility to use my platform, use my position, use my voice, and represent those that don't have that platform, that don't have the ability to reach the amount of people that I do. And, last time I checked, that was my God-given right in this country as a law-abiding, tax-paying American.
Well, that's another issue.
Last time I checked. But I guess, the clock is ticking on that front as well. But wait a minute, Alex, let's talk for 2 seconds about the president finds the time to comment on this ridiculous Kanye West thing at a music awards show. And then, they have to call and apologize to the White House because it was something said off the record. But it's like a whole big thing. But he doesn't even acknowledge that this letter was presented, the video was produced and launched on YouTube that's blown up, in the last 4 or 5 days. He doesn't even have the decency, the compassion, the executive awareness to just make one comment about this, just so we know that he's read it, that he cares, that he doesn't care, something. Just let us know where you stand, Mr. President, because, I didn't do this. I didn't do this just to, suddenly put myself back in the news,
In fact, the media has reported one of the most private people in Hollywood turned down interviews constantly. I was talking to your publicist, Larry King's trying to get you every week. You've refused for year after year. You suddenly say, okay, I'm ready to come on and talk about 9/11, and you can have 3 people against me.
Sure.
And even 3 to 1, they can't get them to come on and go up against you. Just like popular mechanics will debate no one.
Sure.
They will only go on when the opposition's hands are tied, just like Obama won't touch what you're doing because it has substance. Some fool grabbing a microphone away at some award ceremony, that's safe for him to weigh in on and call the guy a jackass.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, I don't drink, but I don't see why he and I couldn't recreate the Rose Garden beer meeting,
Well, you could have a buckler like one of the guys that doesn't drink did.
Exactly. But again, obviously at this point, everybody knows we're not hiding. We're here to make a statement. We're here to confront, an issue and issues that have been ignored and steamrolled and completely devastated for much too long. And it's time to be accountable. It's time to step up. It's time to step forward. It's time to, to put this thing back on the front burner, and it's time to demand the truth. That's what it's really about. It's really about right here, right now. What can we do right here, right now?
Well, you and I have talked a lot about why you wanted to go public, and it's the same reason I go public. How do you know 6 of the 10 commissioners say it's a fraud and a cover-up? How do you know the White House was involved covering it up? How do you know that FBI translators said the government was running al-Qaeda and bin Laden up until the day of the attack, 9/11?
Sure.
How do you know NORAD stood down and then just go, I'm going to go on about my life? They've staged Gulf of Tonkin. Cheney wanted to blow up our own ships. This whole history, and then we're supposed to just sit back and ignore it, and that's completely abnormal to be able just to ignore this.
It is. It is. But unfortunately, that they created the illusion that there's no other option. that is the only way to behave. That is the only way to think. And anybody that dares defy that is labeled a nut job. Is labeled a wacko. And it just no. I'm sorry. That's not good enough. That's not what free thinking people were how we were taught. That's not what those aren't the ideals we were raised on.
Charlie, when we come back, we've got a big announcement to make, and we've got a few other issues to cover in the time we have with you today. But just asking you live here on air, from my perspective, it's been a huge success with your video message, 20 Minutes with the President, published by hundreds of newspapers, links to it. Some papers printed the whole thing, some your 20 bullet points. It's reignited a huge debate about false flag terror, and I think really keeps the establishment from trying to pull something like this again. Are you happy with what's happened overall?
I'm thrilled, Alex. I'm thrilled. I mean, this is phase one is a major success. But to be thrilled and not satisfied is a little frustrating, to be honest. Because I didn't start this. I didn't roll this snowball downhill to have it just be this. I did. This is the ultimate goal is to sit down with the man, is to get 20 minutes of FaceTime with POTUS. That's what this is about.
20 minutes with POTUS.
Yes.
Charlie Sheen is our guest. Phase one has been launched. We're going to let you know a little bit about phase two, but there's more coming up down the road as well. Charlie Sheen is our guest, and you, my friends, are essential in phase two. Even more important than you were in phase one. Stay with us.
This is Alex Jones. Have you heard of the Millionaire Patriot? Well, you should. He has a free handgun and 5 days of firearms training waiting for you. That's right. You can attend 5 days of world-class gun training at Front Sight Firearms Training Institute and secure a 30-state concealed weapons permit, all for pennies on the dollar. Plus, if you act fast, the Millionaire Patriot will give you a free Springfield Armory XD pistol in the caliber of your choice. I believe now is the time that you and your family need to be armed and trained to levels that exceed law enforcement and military standards. Front Sight provides such training without any boot camp mentality or drill instructor attitudes. This is real. Don't miss out. Secure a Front Sight defensive handgun course, plus a 30-state concealed weapons permit for pennies on the dollar, and get your free handgun. Go to frontsight.com today. That's FRONTSIGHT.com. Go to frontsight.com for your training and free gun.
Charlie's going to be with us 20 minutes into the next hour. I just cleared the phones. Your chance to talk to him about 9/11, 9/11 Truth, 1-800-259-9231, 1-800-259-9231. Your questions or comments for Charlie Sheen coming up when we start the next hour. Charlie, I notice here in your letter, your open letter to the public, you say another bin Laden tape has surfaced this morning. I will be monitoring the FBI's most wanted website to see if this tape finally provides the Bureau with the evidence required to list him for the crime of 9/11 on his rap sheet. Thus far, it has not.
Yeah. Yeah. It's still not up. It's still not up. So it doesn't really make any sense to keep rolling out these tapes, video, audio, whatever, and it doesn't seem to connect into anything.
He keeps coming out in these fake videos that have been proven to be fake, and now audios admitting he carried it out. If they have him listed and indicted for the coal and the embassy bombings in Africa, why not for 9/11? Because the FBI says they don't have the evidence.
Yeah, no, it really confuses the whole issue. It confuses the whole issue. And, there's a reason that was the first bullet point on the list. Because I've been in conversations and I've told people, I said, if you visit the FBI's most wanted and you look up bin Laden, 9/11 is just not mentioned. They're like, oh, that's not true. And then you walk them over to a computer, you bring it up, and they sit there dumbfounded, And, I would like to believe that because of the letter, hopefully in certain situations, that it led people to do just that. led them to go check.
Well, Charlie, there is no doubt, and Paul Watson concurs, and he talked about this last hour, you had them doing 9/11 hit pieces against us in the last few months. You had POTUS starting to invoke 9/11 as the pretext to increase troops in Iraq and Afghanistan and contractors.
Of course.
And then you have more warrantless raids of innocent people. It came out Cheney did that and wanted to use the Army just to create fear. That's been declassified.
Of course.
And you have this bin Laden tape coming out from the Intel Center, who's been caught uploading past ones with the Intel Center logo in the same video layer as the Al-Qaeda logo, meaning they produced it.
Yeah. Are we surprised? Are we shocked? Are we dumbfounded? What I mean, this is what these people do. Come on. You know this.